is important to address microaggressions in the workplace because equity-deserving groups have been waiting for change for a long time, and the more we delay the conversations of addressing microaggression, the more we delay the change for them. And sometimes delay of change can equate denial of change for these groups that are deserving.
I think what's important to consider when you're witnessing, experiencing a microaggression in the workplace is to have a bit of self-awareness and understanding of the context and what's happening. So each situation will be different. There are a lot of factors to consider. Again, whether it's you experiencing a microaggression, witnessing a microaggression, what maybe racialized communities you yourself might belong to, how you're affected in the workplace. And so I think about how to be a good ally and to be an accomplice, and that if I were to witness a microaggression in the workplace, and I'm in a position of power and feel a sense of responsibility or have a responsibility to respond, I wouldn't use my power to do that without checking in with the person in some way about how they would like to respond to the situation.
The rule of thumb for addressing microaggression in the workplace is, first of all, have a structure and a strategy, or even a department that handles matters of diversity and inclusion. And then thereafter, it's important that people who are involved in the process have specific skills. And one of the biggest skills I love is having empathy and also having clear communication styles, because often I've seen that people go into trying to address the matters, but the approach is more combative. But if we do it from an empathy lens, we are likely to create more change.
The interesting thing about microaggressions is how, like, the variety of ways that they come out on the surface. What's more interesting to me are unpacking and going deeper into the values and belief systems that inform our actions and our behaviors on the surface and how we interact with each other. So it is important to notice, to recognize, to acknowledge, and not to minimize microaggressions in the actions and behaviors that we see, exhibit in the workplace. And the work really is then to go beyond that and dig deeper into what are the underlying core things that inform our actions and behaviors, and how do we begin to shift those.
Power affects how change happens, not just in the workplace, but everywhere. We tend to see people who are in a place of power having more say and more ability to change. But that does not mean that somebody who is not in a place of power has no ability to drive change. For example, I know that employees in the workplace can start the conversation around addressing microaggression, and then leadership can now follow through with deciding on which approaches are going to work for the team to be able to eliminate such microaggressions.
And so it's important to not minimize, it's important to validate, it's important to believe people when they're sharing with you their experiences, and to inquire and be curious and figure out for yourself how you're going to respond.